Some ingredients simply add flavor. Harissa changes an entire meal. For Tunisians, harissa is just not a condiment. It is a heritage, a memory, a family identity. Today, at Uncommon Tables, we are traveling to Tunisia and talking about harissa, a spicy red chili paste, which is an integral part of Tunisian cooking. So, let's begin. The name harissa comes from the Arabic verb harsa, meaning to crush, pound, or grind. Harissa is traditionally made from dried chilies, garlic, coriander seeds, caraway seeds, cumin, salt, and olive oil. Harissa lives in the hands of the person making it. At its heart, harissa is a paste made from chili peppers, but the exact recipe can change from household to household and region to region. The peppers are dried, split, cleaned, and ground. Traditionally, this was done with a mortar and pestle. The result is thick, intensely flavored, and deeply red paste. But here's the fascinating part. There isn't a single harissa recipe that every Tunisian family follows. Like many traditional foods, every recipe is different. Most historians agree that harissa originated in Tunisia, specifically at Cape Bon Peninsula, especially around Nebbiolo. The Spanish occupation of Tunisia introduced American chili peppers into local agriculture. Tunisians already had garlic, coriander, olive oil, caraway, and preserved food traditions. When peppers arrived, they became the missing ingredient. The result was harissa. And here the story becomes interesting. The chili peppers are not originally from North Africa. They crossed the Atlantic after the voyages that connected the Americas with Europe, Africa, and Asia. North African cooking already used olive oil, garlic, onions, coriander, caraway, cumin, black pepper, saffron, preserved lemon, and herbs. Chili peppers were integrated into the spice mix later. Harissa became an integral part of Tunisian culture. But why specifically Tunisia? Tunisia already possessed ideal conditions. It has Mediterranean climate, excellent olive oil, dry summers, spice traditions, and pepper cultivations. The Cape Bon region became famous for pepper farming. Today, Nebbiolo remains Tunisia's most famous harissa producing region. Harissa isn't spicy. Its complexity comes from balancing heat, from peppers, fat from olive oil, sweetness from pepper flesh, earthiness from caraway seeds, citrus notes from coriander seeds, and garlic compounds from garlic. This is why harissa tastes layered rather than just merely hot. Harissa has various regional variations. In Tunisia, it's usually hot. It's made with caraway, garlic, olive oil, and peppers. While in Algeria, it's often smokier, sometimes less spicy, and there are regional spice differences. While in Morocco, it's usually milder, sometimes includes preserved lemon as well. Different pepper varieties are added. It is often used more in cooking than as a table condiment. There is another layer to this story. Historically, women managed household food preservations. Making harissa became the largest annual food preparations. Entire neighborhoods sometimes worked together. Children helped by drying peppers. Grandmothers supervised spice ratios. Each household developed its own recipe. There were no written measurements, only memory. UNESCO's description of the tradition specifically notes that women in family or neighborhood setting usually prepared harissa. For generations, food preservation was a part of the work of maintaining a household. Making harissa was learned through repetition, through watching, tasting, and through memory. Every Tunisian has a favorite harissa. It is made by someone's mother or grandmother. The taste becomes part of childhood. One spoonful can instantly remind someone of family lunches, Ramadan, village harvests, or grandma's kitchen. The emotional connection explains why many Tunisians speak about harissa with remarkable affection. This is why traditional foods rarely have one perfect recipe. There may be a traditional foundation, but there are also individualized kitchen. One family's harissa may be hotter, another may be more garlicky, while third may be emphasizing particularly on spices, and another one may have a texture that every family loves. For food historians often describes these differences as regional or household variations, but to the person eating it, it can be much simpler. It tastes like home. In Tunisia, harissa isn't reserved for a special dish. It can be used as an ingredient, a condiment, a appetizer. It can accompany a bread. It can flavor soups and stews. It can be paired with meat or fish. It can also be part of couscous, and it can appear in everyday foods such as lablabi. Its role is flexible, but because its purpose is simple, to bring depth, heat, and character to the food. And then there is this detail that makes the story more fascinating. According to UNESCO's documentation, the culture of peppers is connected to an agrarian calendar. Certain periods are avoided for sowing because they are considered unlucky. Peppers can also be hung on looms, and replicas are made for coral are used to ward off bad luck. It is a reminder that traditional food cultures rarely separate agriculture, food, belief, and everyday life. The pepper is not simply growing in a field, it is living inside a cultural world. In 2022, UNESCO officially inscribed Harissa, knowledge, skill, and culinary and social practices onto the representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Now, notice what was recognized. It was not merely about a recipe, it was about the entire cultural tradition. Today, you don't have to travel to Tunisia to find harissa. It has traveled far and beyond North Africa. It appears on restaurant menus, in specialty food stores, in supermarkets, and in kitchens around the world. But the globalization creates an interesting question. When traditional foods become global product, what happens to the tradition behind it? A jar on supermarket shelf may contain the basic idea, but it cannot fully contain the knowledge behind it. It cannot contain the summer sun that dried the peppers, the hands that prepared them, the grandmothers who taught recipe, the family gatherings, or the memory attached to the taste. And perhaps that's why exactly UNESCO recognized the broader cultural practices rather than simply the paste. Harissa began with a pepper that traveled thousands of miles from its original home. But Tunisia gave that pepper a new identity. It became something dried in the sun, ground by hand, seasoned by memory, stored for the future, and shared at the table. Today you can buy harissa in a jar. You can find it in restaurants around the world. You can stir into a soup, spread it on bread, or use it to bring heat to a dish. But the jar is only the final chapter. The real story is in the hands that made it, the fields where the peppers grew, the women who passed down the knowledge, families who gathered to prepare it, and the generations that learned not simply how to make harissa, but what it meant. Because sometimes a food isn't something we eat, sometimes it's how a culture remembers it. If you enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to like and subscribe to Uncommon Tables so that I can bring more such interesting videos about different cultures and food practices to you. I'll see you next time. Till then, take care and keep exploring new flavors.